Where do I even start? At the beginning, right? Hey, and welcome to Studio to Stage, where I am empowering performers by giving them all the tools they need to succeed in one of the toughest industries. And trust me, you're going to need all the help you can get. Now, today's video is for anyone that may be thinking about auditioning for musical theatre college, or has and is going to be starting in September, and you just kind of want to know what to expect from them. But I'm going to give you exactly that. I'm going to tell you my experience of musical theatre college, starting right from the start in year 1 all the way to the end of graduation in year 3. Now, when I mean musical theatre college, I also mean like dance college, acting college, whatever, at uni level. And if you're not already aware, this is the first video for Studio to Stage's YouTube, so please like and subscribe because it will go a hell of a long way. Right, let's get into it. So right from a little girl, I always knew that I wanted to pursue performing as a career. It was like a non-negotiable. I didn't want to do anything else. I did contemplate going into business, but there was just something about performing that I just couldn't let go. So at 16 years old, I auditioned for my very first musical theatre college, and that one was Erdang. Now at 16, I had no idea what to expect. I came from a very small town in Birmingham, and no one around me I knew had ever auditioned for these kind of colleges before. So this was like a big deal for me. So I was like a little deer in headlights when I turned up for that Erdang audition. Like I said, I had no idea what to expect. I kind of knew what to take because they gave us an audition brief. So I knew what shoes to take, what outfits to kind of wear. I knew I had to prepare a song. I knew I had to prepare a monologue. That was kind of the extent of it. And can I just say, I hadn't even done GCSE drama. So getting up and doing a monologue in front of a whole panel of people was terrifying. Anyway, so I get to the audition, I am stressed out, I'm on my own, I don't know anyone here. And the thing is with this as well, I did apply really late, so I was kind of like one of the last few. Which, can I just say, please don't do. If you're going to apply for an audition, try and get in as early as possible, because they only have a certain amount of places to give. And if you're going at the end of the season of auditions, they've probably given out loads and loads of places, so you're kind of on the back end and it's even harder to get a place then. It's possible, but it's harder. Anyway, I do my audition, I come out of it and I think, oh my god, I am not ready. I am not ready to go. At this point, I was like debating if I even got offered a place, would I even take it? Anyway, a few weeks passed by, I got an email to say that I was offered a foundation course, which is basically like a year's course before you do the 3-year. But I just didn't feel ready to leave home at 16. I honestly didn't. So I had a really big chat with my mum and dad, and they suggested doing my A-levels and maybe re-auditioning when I was 18, which is exactly what I did. However, I knew I was so unprepared for that first audition that I ever did. So I had a little look online and there was pre-audition courses. Now, if you do get a chance to do a pre-audition course, especially if you've never done an audition before, or if you're very new to this kind of thing, I would definitely recommend doing one of these. It really does set you up. However, they are expensive, hence why I've created Studio to Stage, so I can give you loads of tools just in case you can't afford to go on one of those. Hopefully it will give you loads of information to get you started. Anyway. In year 13 of school, I started applying for different musical theatre schools. Now I had a little look around and looked to see which ones I really wanted to go to. At first I had my heart set on Erdang. I really did. I had my heart set on it for 2 years. Since I did that first audition, I was like, I really want to go there. When I'm 18, I'll be ready and I'll want to go there. Anyway, I do the Lane audition and I fall in love with it. I fall in love with Lane Theatre Arts when I go there. And that whole thing of wanting to go to Erdang was out the window. And I just knew that Lane suited me. And you will get that too. When you go to an audition, you'll know what suits you, where you see yourself. Everyone's different. And you have to make sure that you think you're going to fit in here and you're going to get the most out of your training. And what I loved about Lane was classes are really small. They don't take on loads and loads of people like other schools do. So I thought I'd get more one-to-one training, which, having spoken to loads of people, I did. And I definitely don't regret going there. I absolutely loved my time at Lane. And I learned so much. I was really fortunate. I actually got accepted onto every place I auditioned for, but Lane just had my heart. Anyway, so obviously I accepted the place and my first day comes around. I moved down to Surrey, moved in with like 7 other people who are all going to the same place, and I was shitting myself. And to be honest, I think everyone was. It wasn't just me. So first day comes around and it's kind of like that induction phase where you put your timetable through, you don't really know what any of it means, you don't know where all the classrooms are, you don't know the building, you don't know who the teachers are, you don't know who your first year, second year, third year, and it's very, very confusing. I'm pretty sure we had to like re-audition, which basically meant we had to re-audition for like our sets. So we'd have like a ballet audition and they would put you into a set that they think was appropriate, like top set, bottom set, middle set, whatever. Same with singing, same with acting, I think, jazz. I know maybe jazz was mixed, I can't even remember now. But all I remember it being absolutely terrifying. Now first year was like, it was fun, I enjoyed it. There was like less pressure in first year. Everyone's trying to like find their feet, everyone's trying to find their friendship groups, everyone's trying to find out what style suits them the most, where they feel comfortable in what lesson, what teachers they like, everything. First year was great, I did love first year. We had a thing called prelims at the end of it, which was terrifying, where you had to sing a song and you had to choreograph your own solo that you had to do in front of the whole jazz faculty, and that was terrifying, but it was a really good performance experience. Obviously you've got loads of like assessments that you do throughout the year, and then the showcase comes around. I get picked for pretty much nothing because I was a first year, and that's just kind of the way it goes unless you're one of the lucky ones. So don't get disheartened if you don't get picked for anything. But again, not being picked for things and rejected by things is starting to slowly build up that resilience. So my camera died, apologies about that. So I thought I would cut and edit the first little bit that we've just filmed. And then it went really dark outside because we're in England and, you know, why not at 5 o'clock it be dark? Anyway, moving on. So going back to first year, what's funny about first year is you're always like a carbon copy of each other. Everyone looks the same. No one's got like a personal style. No one's got an identity or anything like that. So it's quite cute. It's quite like innocent. As you go through the college, you start to develop your own like personal style. You start to experiment with your look and everything. But when you're in your first year, you definitely know the first years. And it's not a bad thing, you know, everyone's been through it. So I did like first year, and what I wish I could say back to myself is really enjoy that first year. So if you are going to go to musical theatre college, dance college, please enjoy that first year because it's no pressure. Even though it feels like the assessments are the world, they're not. You should really enjoy it. Really try and enjoy that first year. And really find out who your friends are as well. That's really important, to really get a good support system around you. Oh... And then second year comes. Second year. She's a tough one. Second year is a tough cookie. Second year blues is definitely a thing. Nothing to be worried about, but just be aware of it. Second year, the pressure starts to be added a little bit more. You kind of do this in first year, and then you kind of do this in second year, and then in third year you kind of do this, and it's that kind of like pit. You're kind of like halfway through your training. You go through the whole stages of you don't feel good enough. You start to compare yourself to everyone, how much they've improved and where you're at. Start to question everything. Is this for you? Everything goes through your head in second year. But please chill. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Try and enjoy it if you can. Second year, like I say, a lot more pressure gets added. You start to have different teachers as well, so you have to adjust a little bit. And I think in second year, I remember going to classes outside. I would go to places like Pineapple, places like Base, to really start kind of like networking a little bit. And not even just like networking, it was more like when you're at college, you're really stuck in like a bubble, and you're at that college and everything you consume is that college, and you think that's the be all and end all, and it's really not. And you really have to go outside and you have to really explore this whole world, this whole industry. There's so many different choreographers out there, directors, performers, and you have to immerse yourself in everything. So going to places like Pineapple Base, oh sorry, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but those kind of places, they're a really good way to kind of like step outside the college and kind of go a bit more into the real world, and learning kind of new people's kind of styles and techniques and things is really cool as well. Because when you're at like college, there's definitely like a certain style that college has. Every college has got it, it's not just Lane, every college has got it, and you do start to kind of morph into that kind of vibe, which is not a bad thing at all. I would definitely say go and explore elsewhere as well. Again, with second year you have assessments, we had those prelims, we also had showcases. Now showcases, you don't get picked for anything in your showcase in second year, don't worry. Please don't think it's the be all and end all, it's really not. I got picked for more things in second year, but not near enough as I wanted to. I think a lot of people felt like that as well, because you worked your arse off. And and you have to audition for certain people's pieces, which is good and bad, but we won't get into all that. Try everything, go for everything. If you don't get it, it doesn't matter, at least you've gone, at least you won't have any regrets. But that second year, you need to take care of yourself. You need to really mentally take care of yourself. Go home at the weekend if you can. Go do something completely different at weekends, because your life is consumed with that college. And I remember the days started to get longer. I remember having like jazz at 8 o'clock at night until like 10, which was just ridiculous. But you know, it builds you up, and it builds up that kind of stamina, resilience and everything. You know, these colleges, that they're not easy, they're really, really tough. Hence why there's only a certain amount of people that audition for these colleges, because they're bloody hard. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because they are hard and you have to work your ass off. What you need to do is you need to get organised. You need to get your shit together. Don't fall behind. Start getting your repertoire together. Start getting monologues together. Start exploring outside, like Bass Pineapple, whatever. Get your shit together and get organised. That is my main advice, because if you start to fall behind, you can tell, and other people will overtake you. It doesn't matter about the talent. Everyone's got talent. Everyone's good. Everyone's got that base level. The people that overtake each other are the ones that are super on it, that are networking, that are going to watch shows, that know the latest news in the industry, everything. So get your shit together. That's my biggest advice for second year. But any year really, but second year especially. This piece of hair is doing my head in, sorry. The second year, she's a whole vibe on her own. And then you get to third year. Third year is a very interesting one, because it's your last year and you start to panic a little bit. You start to think, oh shit, I've only got 1 year left at this school and then I'm on my own. And that's correct. You are on your own. You've graduated, they shut the door and bye. Literally what it is. There's no beating around the bush about it. I did really love my third year. It was just so tough and so hard, because there's not any pressure being applied from your teachers, there's also the pressure applied from yourself as well. I put so much pressure on myself in third year, because agencies start to become involved, and you have to have an agent before you leave, and you have to have a job, and you have to be booked for jobs before you leave, and people start auditioning for the real world, and that's where it gets tough, you know. Like when you start to audition for your first West End show, which is what we started to do in third year, it was tough, it was hard, and it was scary, because it's like, oh my god, this is like real life, like it's happening now. Third year is a bit of like an eye-opener, I must admit, but it's good, it's really good. I loved my third year. But yeah, third year is where it gets really real, and you have to really be on it. And I have forgotten to say as well, throughout the years you do audition for Panto, which you can do in every single year. Well, we could at our college, I don't know how other colleges run. They're kind of like your first taster of like auditions, I would say. But in third year, that's when you start auditioning for the big stuff, like your West End shows, your tours, your cruises, all that kind of thing. And obviously you have to do your assessments as well, and you also have to do like your diploma stuff. I also did a degree at the same time, because I was mad and thought I could handle it all. What I will say is, don't pressure yourself to have a West End job at the end of your third year. It's probably not going to happen, and it's not because you're not good enough, it's just a really slim chance of that happening. It doesn't happen to everyone, and there's only a small amount of people it does, so don't get caught up in that. Enjoy the moment that you're in, and please don't listen to outside noise. If people have booked jobs, congratulate them, be happy for them, but don't compare yourself. That's the biggest thing I would say. As well as agents as well. If you don't book an agent by the end of third year, it's not a big deal. Just because you're at the end of third year doesn't mean it stops there. If anything, it starts there, and you've got a whole career ahead of you. But when you're at the college and when you're wrapped up in that whole culture, it can feel like the end of the world if you don't get these things. But be kind to yourself, be confident in your ability. You've trained for 3 years, you've put in a hell of a lot of work, so trust yourself. I did really enjoy college. The 3 things that I would say are missing from training at these schools are nutrition advice. I don't feel like there was enough nutrition advice, and that's not just a Lane thing, I think that's a whole industry thing. I feel like we're probably not educated in the right way in terms of what to eat when you're at college, and it's so important. So I feel like the nutrition education needs to start happening in these schools. The second thing I would say is helping students prepare for the outside world in terms of when you're not working in these professional jobs, and what to do and how to survive. You're having to pay for your £1,200 a month flat in London. You're having to start a good corporate job because it's the only one that's paying well. You can't be on minimum wage. How are you supposed to survive that as well as auditioning at the same time? So I feel like there should definitely be some education in how to survive after college life. And the third thing I would say is not in education around like working out whilst you're at college, because we were kind of just told that we need to keep fit, we need to keep our stamina up, we need to strengthen up, we need to tone up, all that kind of thing, but we weren't told how. And to be honest, I don't actually think any teachers knew how. And now that I'm a PT, I understand exactly what needs to happen. And we were told completely the wrong things. And you're a dancer, you have to be on it with your strength training and cardio. So that wraps up the whole video, guys. I hope that was helpful and insightful. A little taste of what's going to happen when you go to these schools. And if you did like this video, please subscribe, guys, and give it a like. It goes a long, long way. Comment on what you want to see next. See you on the next video. Bye.